of all, I want to start with claiming that I'm that kind of composer who like to explore the inner life of the sound, but not just that. Because very often when you write for an instrument like wind instrument, saxophone, flute, oboe, clarinet, I don't know what else. And we are often very attracted by these complex sonority, multiphonics, double trills, and so on. And it's true because we should be attracted by that because, sorry, I just take my phone to connect my computer to internet because I need to upload something. And my purpose before writing this piece was how to put together four kinds of saxophone, of different saxophone, in order to be sort of one big saxophone. So the translation of the title, it means together in a sort of one big common body. The common body is made by the four saxophones. And now I'm going just to take the score. Mainly, in this piece, we have four kind of texture, of sound texture. And we have the first one texture that is that one, that is the opening of the piece, the opening, the start. So we have this kind of double texture. Why I'm saying double texture? Because we have these high notes that are played each them by each saxophone, and these other ones that I call ghost notes, that are simply keys that were pressed, and so the action, the pressure action of those keys during this main sound. So this main sound will be affected and will be modified, but just slightly, just a little bit, not too much, by these kind of ghost notes that you find above. So my main purpose, and not just a purpose, but also a sort of interest point, a question mark, was to find a texture, a sort of choral, because in the beginning of the piece we have a choral, we have four voices, but to tell the truth, we don't have just four voices and four sounds. We have 8 sounds, the 4 main sounds, and the 4 hidden sounds that are the key depressed, okay, the ghost notes. So I'm saying that because all the first section of the piece is designed in order to have this kind of double layers of action, double layer of action. And I'm just, I know that this kind of start, beginning of the piece, has some like legacy sound, because we have this choral with some accenting, rhythmical accenting that break suddenly the stability of the texture. But anyway, from bar 10, I just asked myself what could be if I don't assign to the soprano, saxophone, a normal high note, but rather a very, very, a sort of whistle, you see these white triangles. This is a sort of very, very high whistle with the ghost note key digitation, and above we have have this very opposite register, very, very high, and I'm not saying very, very low, but a sound of not pitchy sound of the saxophone. So I started using those two elements, and later those two elements are mixed together in order to create a texture. And at page 4, we have this kind of episode that I defined as sgocciolando delicatamente. What does it mean, sgocciolando? To drip something that is dropping, you know, a sort of dropping movement. And all those adagio, all those sgocciolando events that are 5 in the piece, are a sort of not continuous glissando. So you see, everyone of the saxophone is playing a different technique. The soprano is alternating whistle with high notes, always with these ghost notes kicking. The alto saxophone is playing harmonics with ghost notes kicking. The tenor saxophone is playing not harmonic note but just ordinary, very high note. And the baritone saxophone, he is playing this sort of spectrum, harmonic spectrum on these fundamentals. So we have four different techniques that are just the same because they are melted together in order to build a sort of polytext. So if we want to see, for instance, let me give a look to the second adagio, bar 26. You see, it's this bar, that bar, is the same of that one. I mean, the same concept, but just more complex, and with more. I'm not talking about just extended technique, but I'm talking about extended sounds. So if you listen to this bar and all the following one that belongs to the same category, sound category, I remember that I'm talking about the adagio, that is not the choral, it's something else. In this adagio, that are 5, that repeat 5 times in piece, we have always this kind of very slow movement sounds that goes down with a sort of strange, mad, interrupted glissando. And if you see, even in this case, we have 4 different techniques. Each of them is playing a technique different, but the sound, the general sound outcome, when you listen to this, you can't recognize who is playing what. Who is playing the glissando with key? Who is playing the glissando without key and just with embouchure? Who is playing the bisbigliato with half the present key? You just can't recognize it. And this is truly my purpose, because I'm working a lot on the instrument mask. If you look to this bar that is quite complex from the not just from the extended technique point of view, but also from the overlapping of sound layers, you can catch and you can understand what do I mean when I talk about this kind of big saxophone. That is made by 4 saxophones, but those 4 saxophones are just mixed and sacrificed in a certain way in order to have a very, very big, huge texture in which you just can't understand it very well. And as we go further to scrolling the score, we see that this kind of choral is becoming more and more full of accenti, of rhythmical points that break this kind of stability. And so, bit like the string quartet. Why I'm saying that? Because we have four different register range instruments, obviously. And because they have this kind of timbre that can be matched very, very well together. The same as for the string quartet. And another technique that I explored are a lot of double trills. I mean, I'm talking with an audience of saxophone players, so I know that you know much better than me what is a double trill. But listen, there are some double trills that are more interesting because I mean, when you play a double trill, you're just playing a trill, pressing not one key but two keys, maybe three. I don't know. You have to research. And there are some double trills. For instance, that one, which I'm showing, in which you don't have just a trill movement. You have also a sort of how can you say, acoustic shift. For instance, sometimes you hear more the bottom note, sometimes you hear more the higher note. So it depends. So why I'm so interested in those kind of trills? Because those kind of trills reveal the unstable nature of the sound. And I'm that kind of composer that works a lot with the unstable unstable nature of the sound. And for instance, if we look to this bar, all the saxophones are playing double trills. I mean, maybe not all of them, because the baritone and the soprano, they are not playing a double trill, but the sound result, the outcome, will be just something, I mean, very weird, in which you don't have just 1, 2, 3 notes trilling. You have a combination of trilling notes. So this is exactly what I'm looking for while I'm writing for saxophone. And I have something like 5 minutes. And so it's not easy to express everything in just 20 minutes, but I'm trying to do my best. And if we look to bar 66, do you know what is beating, you know, battinetti? For instance, the composer Carlo Alberto Posadas, he's a great composer, which I know personally. I admire a lot. Because he did much to the saxophone world. The beatings are these kind of multiphonics in which you have a sort of beating between two very close notes. And I just wanted to explore which kind of beating I could have here, because you know what, the addition of this and of this one is not 2, it's more than 2, because you have you don't have just 2 saxophone players who are playing beatings. You have 2 saxophone players who are playing beatings, and you have the relation between these 2 saxophone players. So you have additional sounds. And so all this journey, this path that lead me in discovering this kind of additional sounds is something in which I'm working very hard in this month, in these years. And writing this piece, I discovered something that I truly want to deepen, to explore more. And as you have listened, as you have here listening the ending part, the end of the piece, there is a sort of homage, tribute to a harmony, because even if you listen to this kind of music, you maybe could be touched by the idea that I don't mind about harmony. It's not true. I mind about harmony, but there are some sonoric material that can deal with harmony, and there are some sonoric material that just can't deal with harmony. And I tried to find a match in which this kind of virtual instrument extended sound could give a space to the harmony as well. For instance, the ending part, we have always that choral that is just interrupted by clean notes, pure clean notes, and we have this sort of quartal, not quartal, tonal, maybe not tonal, maybe extended tonal harmony that is just pushing toward the hand. And I think that I have just underlined the main feature of that piece, but I just want to show you just a couple of minutes some sketches. But for this sketch, I don't need my PC. I have some draft that I really would like to show you in order to show you how I work when I have to work for a bigger ensemble. I mean, maybe not so big, but an ensemble with extended pieces. You know, this millimeter paper. I just use that to write the event